Patrick Dexter.
Hello.
You're a musician.
Dr. Oliver.
Yeah, you're a musician.
I'm a musician, yeah.
And you play.
I play the cello.
And
Cello,
how-
it's like bigger than a violin, smaller than a double bass.
Yeah. And how did you start that?
So I grew up playing music with my family. My dad's a musician, so he had us all playing string instruments. He's a piano player, so he wanted us to play string instruments. My sisters played the violin, and I was next, and they gave me a cello. And yeah, I played it ever since I was about 7, yeah.
And were you trained into it properly? Did you do the grades and all this kind of stuff?
Yep, I was trained to it. Did the grades. I wasn't the most diligent practicer, but I was sort of trained in the classical music, but I never really stuck to it. I always liked to sort of explore other kinds of music.
And all your family were musicians, were they?
They all played a bit growing up, yeah. Some of them are musicians now, and everyone's still got some music going on in their life, yeah.
And you kept it going all your life, or did you lapse for a while, or did you...
Yeah, I sort of did all sorts of different things growing up. I always had music with me, but mostly it was something that I did for pleasure. I, studied other things, and when I came to Mayo first, to Westport, I was a teacher, and music was always on the side, but recently I've taken it on as being my main thing.
And did you ever play with a group, a band, or an orchestra, or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, we used to have a group here in town, and I played in a few bands and things, nothing very long term, but I really, when I started playing solo, that's when I really started to love music even more, and even though cello's not your average solo instrument, it's not usually played solo. I love playing it solo, and that's mostly what I do now, playing solo cello.
So are you one of the few people that COVID benefited?
I could be, yeah. I could be. It's hard to know. It's such a hard time, but for me, everyone was stuck at home, and I love playing music at home, and that simple thing of sharing my music that I was making at home made a big impact on people, it seemed, during the COVID time, and the strange thing of, usually for a musician, it's what you do in the concert theatres, what you do in the studio, what you do in all these other fancy places that is important. But strangely in COVID, it was what you were doing in your little space at home that everyone was confined to that was important, and was where you could make your mark. And that, for me, was where I was able to touch people's lives with my music, and I was very fortunate for that.
But it wasn't all inside stuff, was it?
No, it was mostly outside. Yeah, when I say at home,
Is that what got them? Yeah, outside, was it?
You know well, Oliver. Okay, yes. So yeah, I mean, Mayo landscape is incredible. I mean, I'd seen a lot of people playing from their homes. Mostly, musicians live in big cities, so they're living in little apartments. And there's nothing very spectacular there going on in their background. But living here in Mayo, I mean, it's incredible, the scenery that's all around. So filming myself outside was easy to make something beautiful, even without knowing much about video or the little that I knew about sound production. And it was easy with this landscape to put together something beautiful that made a big impact. So.
And did you do the recording yourself as well? Did you set up a camera and play it away?
Much like yourself. I didn't have to hold the camera. But
we don't have any rules.
I had a tripod and an audio recorder. The main important thing was I had a thing to protect from the wind, because that's the big thing you have to battle in, which is like a little fluffy thing you put on your mic, and that's all you needed. Yeah, computer to put it online. Yeah.
And what kind of following have you on YouTube now?
It'd be fairly significant. Yeah.
You have a number?
I'm sure. I'd say in all social media it would be in the hundreds of thousands.
Hundreds of thousands. Yeah. Well, it's very nice, isn't it? Yeah. So where'd you come from originally?
So I grew up in Dublin.
Dublin.
Yeah.
And how did you end up in the West?
So it's after living abroad for years, my granddad has a place out in Ahaggar, not far from here, and when myself and my partner used to go on holidays there, and when we moved back to Ireland, we had this idea about living in the West, and we thought, okay, well, we didn't have anywhere to keep us in Dublin because we'd been away, so we're like, we'll go to Westport for a bit, see what it's like, and we stayed 6 years later. I'm still here.
Like Westport?
I like it, yeah. I like it, yeah.
What do you like about it?
I have to finish up now, so sorry. So sorry, I'm getting the look here. But yeah, it's just a great place to live, especially a great place to bring up kids. Yeah, I have a daughter now, so yeah. You won't be getting rid of me anytime soon, basically.
So you had a concert tonight in the
We had a concert
Grove House.
In Grove House, this amazing venue. It was spectacular. And place
Suits-
I hope to play again.
it suited the music, I think. Did it?
I think it did, yeah.
Suited the music,
It really
yeah.
did, yeah.
A bit of classical and Irish.
Bit of classical Irish, a bit of original music, and
So the festival is on now, in the middle of the festival, so we'll all have to go off and see a few more things.
yeah, I hope so.
Okay.
Yeah, got some plans to go see some things tonight, so we'll see.
Thank you very much.